going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Two Will Goon, and welcome to Weirdos Assemble. That's episode 29? Yeah, 29.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Starting off tonight, I am joined by Loose Juice. We have some more
What up,
weirdos.
everybody?
We have some more weirdos on the way, I promise.
Yeah, I think, we always start off with a smaller group, and then it grows, it develops. I know Rainy's on his way. He's wrapping up editing. But then I imagine Aaron will probably join at some point, but I think he's doing bike night at Throttle Co. tonight, which super jealous. I actually considered going out to Ohio this weekend. But, life and all that.
Yeah, I mean...
the rest, they'll come and go as they please.
That's true. I had thought about riding up to Paducah, Kentucky tomorrow to meet up with Adam Sandoval.
No shit. So I had, speaking of Kentucky, actually, yeah, I think it was Kentucky, and we might be talking about the same things, but from different people. I had Sky's Limit, Tony. I'm sorry, not Sky's Limit. Jeez, why did I have him stuck in my head? I had Trucker 2 times. It's all the T's. I had him reach out to me on Instagram, and he's like, hey, brother, or whatever the hell, like how he talks. He's like, you going to this thing in Knoxville? And I'm like, no, dude, I ain't gonna make it this weekend. But apparently there's something going on in Knoxville. So what I'm saying is, Kentucky is apparently the place to be this weekend, and I'm not there.
I'll have to look it up and see if he's doing it, because I know Saturday he's going to be in Paducah for I think they call it the Great American Convoy, and then Sunday he's going to be in Bowling Green. But that's the two closest ones to me. Outside of that, I don't know where he's going next. I'm really surprised that he didn't hit Moonshine just south of Nashville.
Yeah, I noticed. I had taken a look at his route, and the nearest Harley dealer that is on his route to me, and he may have already done it. I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But he's not doing most of Michigan, from what I could tell. And the parts of Michigan that he's doing are like Battle Creek. I think he's stopping at Battle Creek, Harley Davidson. I've not been to that. That's about an hour and a half from me, maybe a little less than that. But I thought it was interesting. Like, there's a couple of bigger Harley shops right on the, kind of like on the west side, like kind of like where I'm at. I thought that he would stop by them, but I don't know. Also, I don't know if you caught the video today. Something happened on that convoy on one of the most recent stops, and it was kind of a weird video because he alluded to the fact that something bad happened, and he was like, yeah, it was because we were there late, like we showed up late. But trying to read between the lines there, it was like, it sounds like somebody was disgruntled and was like pissed off that he didn't show up on schedule, which, as you well know, when you're riding in a group of people, with a group of people, and especially if you're on Harleys, like, shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit breaks down. Things happen. So I don't know. If that's the case and somebody was just fucking throwing a fit because he was late, I hope that's not the case. But it was like a really, really weird video earlier today. So I think it was like pretty serious, and he was trying to do the best he could to make a video out of it.
We love you, Doug. We're glad to see you.
Is that Dry Heat Doug?
Dry Heat Doug's in chat.
He made my night. So right before we went live, he messaged me on Instagram. He's like, I'm going to send you something. So I shot him my address. He's like, well, I don't know. If you don't want to use it, you can send it back. But, I have no idea what this motherfucker is about to send me. But he's apparently got something secret for me. And I'm, giddy with excitement.
I completely forgot. Oh, yeah. Normally I have these scheduled out, weeks in advance. I've just been slacking lately. Life's been crazy.
You talking about putting up the actual placeholder for these podcasts?
Yeah.
That ain't nothing but a chicken wing, man.
Doug says it's something awesome. So You're going to have to let me know what this is. I'm kind of curious now.
Well, I'm pretty confident it'll make either and or the my Instagram or YouTube or both. I don't know what it is, but if it's bolt on, I gotta imagine it'll make the channel.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
I hope it's like a nitrous kit for the Grom or something dumb.
Oh God!
Like with the little CO2 bottle, like CO2 size. You know what I'm talking about, like the little Crossman air rifle sized bottles of nitrous. Yeah. Okay. That'd be kind of funny.
It would be.
If that's what it is, Doug, I'm sorry I spoiled the surprise. I doubt that's what it is, but my brain, like, for some reason went that direction. Was like, yeah, that'd be kind of wacky and different.
nitrous kitted Grom.
There's like no way that we'd be like the originators of that thought. Everybody loves to throw nitrous at shit.
That sounds like a blockhead special.
Well, I'm trying to build the Grom to take down Blockhead. He's got Gromzilla. I've got Grom King Kong.
Hey,
Let's
Diana.
go.
Oh, God. Figured Jerry would have Grom King Kong.
So Jerry, that's a really funny thing. Is like you brought up Jerry. Jerry is the one that helped me name it that. And a few weeks after that, he forgot that he helped me name it that. And he was like, let's name it like Hi-Ho Silver or something else. I'm like, no, dog, it's Grom King Kong. That's what we talked about like 3 weeks ago. What up, Mike?
Sorry I'm late, everybody. I had was trying to finish a challenge that I had given myself. Yeah, so you know I'm kind of schizophrenic, right? And then I just, and that guy's a jerk. So he kept bugging me. When are you gonna finish your video? When are you gonna finish your video? So I finally finished my video.
You've been putting out the content though. Like this week, you've been hustling.
Yeah, I've been trying really hard to get some extra stuff out, and trying to get the viewership up. So I think it's good every once in a while just to throw up as many videos as you can in a week, just to try to cover as many bases as you can and try to start getting some subs.
Yeah. I'm just a
If
boring
it
person.
works,
I
cool.
don't have
If it
that much
doesn't,
content.
I don't usually, but all the opportunities that are presenting themselves, I think when you open yourself up to the opportunities, I think you start finding them. Like today I was coming home and I've been seeing this motorcycle shop on the side of the road, and I'm like, I'm going to stop today and just check out this motorcycle shop. And I went in, and this kid was so excited, and he wanted to come out and look at my bike, and then he had a Hayabusa sitting out. Oh, no spoilers. But I'm like, hey, you mind if I video you? And he's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So I videoed him, and I videoed his shop, and it was pretty cool. It was a little short video, but just
Every Busa boy's dream is that somebody comes up with a camera and is like, "Can I record you?"
somebody, who was it? Aaron posted yesterday the new Mad Max video where it's like, witness me. He's like, look, witness me. It was great. It was a good time.
Yes, Boogie.
Marshmallow?
You want a marshmallow?
Yeah. After this, y'all can go check out that video. It is pretty cool.
The kids remembered that we had marshmallows.
Oh, you did have those. Are those from Camp Out?
No.
Oh, because you had that, like, you got those big ass marshmallows, weren't it?
Yeah, they were huge. More than one bite, and what doesn't go in your mouth ends up on your hands and down your arms. Yeah, they were awesome.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut and just go with that's what she said.
No, you won't.
Oh, Zard pillow.
I think sometimes a lot of the stuff you record, even though at the time you may not think it's very much, and then when you're watching it later editing, you're like, that'd be good in content. There's a lot of stuff that I think, well, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to keep recording. I'll cut it out later. And then when you're viewing it, you're like, that's really good stuff. Like Chase always says, just record. The stuff will present itself later. Just record everything you can.
Sorry, my neck popped. Ow.
Be careful, old man. Don't break yourself.
Yeah, right? Well, I have a lot of content that I need to go through from, like, the ride that we took from TMMR back. Some of that made it into the video, some of it didn't. I kind of want to go back and post, like, what I have of it. And like
I'll be perfectly honest. I'm kind of glad I didn't record because it was like it's just like one of those rides where I just enjoyed every fucking minute of it, and that was all. It just like that was us. That was like us. You know, it was the boys' trip. Like I didn't feel the need to like share that because you know sharing riding video, especially if you just throw an audio track over it or something like that, like that's cool and all, but it does no fucking justice to how amazing that route was to and from TMMR. And I don't know, I just cherish that moment and all of that weekend, for as a matter of fact. But just like that route to TMMR was, even though there was a fucking tree in the road at one point, like that was really, really, really good.
Nobody had a chainsaw.
No, sorry.
Missed opportunity.
I'll keep that in my toolkit. I did get to lasso Aaron and pull him back in.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have got that on video. That was funny.
Yeah, like those are the videos that I think personally I don't, if it makes it into a video, that's great. But if not, like that's great. Just like if you're ever feeling fucking down and you want to like go watch something that reminds you of a great time, that's it. Those are your golden little nugget memories. Like I can't emphasize it enough. That was a really great trip, and especially that ride back.
Yeah.
Not that I mean, I wanted to spend more time at TMMR, but literally the route there was just unbelievable.
I was really surprised when the GPS took us another way home. Well, back to the campground.
A little bit.
What kind of GPS do you have?
Google. So Google Maps will sometimes they will do the shortest route by time. And the bad thing, I love using my phone for long trips because it'll save you some time. But like for going around like small areas and stuff, at a moment's notice it'll change them. The good thing about Google Maps, it'll usually tell you the shortest routes, but it will give you like 3 or 4 different routes if they're available.
True.
But you have to look at them though and see if it's set up for shortest by distance, shortest by time. Sometimes I found that even my TomTom was set up for ignore unpaved or unmarked roads or undesignated roads, which means if it doesn't have a speed limit designated on it, it'll put you around it. It won't put you on it. So you got to go ahead every once in a while, and when they update, they change. So if you get a Google Map update, you get a Alice Map update on your phone or on your device, it will sometimes update it for you, and you have to go back in and check those settings.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I just have mine set to avoid tolls.
The first thing I always do after the update, put in avoid tolls. The funny thing was when we were in Florida and Tampa, when we went to Berks this time, I didn't get any tolls because we went the first time and I was in a hurry to get there. But when we got back to the camp after that, I always put in avoid tolls. And on the way back, we were actually going faster than the expressway on the side of the road. Little feeder road that takes you through the town and through the little petroleum plants and stuff is actually faster than riding the highway.
Interesting.
Are you hungry, man? How was your group, man? You said so you were taking bets again on how many of your people were going to finish. You said you had to give a tour. How did that go? You gave lots of knife hand.
Oh, I don't know that we can talk about that.
No, can't talk about that on stream.
No, that was the last night. Last night we talked about it pretty in depth.
Not your special visitor. Not the special visitor, but
well,
we'll get on that later.
More on
after
that
party.
later.
I had mentioned we had special visitors, so I did XP when I was overseas, and we would get people you would think would be very snobby, and were very cool. And then there were people, like they say, you never meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. One of the people I thought would be really awesome because she's a country girl was Carrie Underwood, and she was the biggest bitch.
Did she drag her key into the side of her?
Let me say this. So this was about the same time that she started getting really hot, and she did a USO tour, and we had somebody that
was
went
getting hot. Always
yeah.
been. What are you talking about?
I don't know. She wasn't very big yet. She had just finished her little stint on America's Got Talent, American Idol, whatever she did, and she did this one. Well, she really thought she was something because our guy who was head of her security team, they give all the females, they call them potty mommies. They're there just to make sure they get to the bathroom, nobody bothers them. They stand outside the stalls, and her potty mommy, I guess, just shut herself off to her. She didn't want to talk to her. She wouldn't want her coming around. Didn't want her coming in the bathroom with her. Whatever. Okay, cool. Women want their modesty. The head of the security that night, when they took her back to the hotel out in Kuwait City, she said, "What do you want?" He says, "What do you want for breakfast? What do you want me to have with you? I'll bring it with me." And she goes, "Well, I want Special K." And so the next morning he went to pick her up with the team. He brought up the only thing they had in the market was Special K with strawberries. Brought it up to her. She looks at it and goes, "Who the fuck's gonna pick out all these strawberries?" and threw it on the floor. He goes, "Well, I guess you are. You got 5 minutes." He goes, "You got 5 minutes for leaving." He's that kind of girl.
Pick up your own damn strawberries.
Yeah.
Diana, Doug, we're not ignoring y'all at all.
I cannot see the chat, to be fair. So if anything is directed at me, direct it through Goon.
Yeah, I will send it your way.
Oh, I forgot to. Steve wanted me to remind him that we're on stream tonight.
I'm still waiting for my Indie Ridge order to ship.
Yeah, they've been busy. Well, you can ask him about tonight, but I know they've been very busy. He said
I'm not gonna blast him on the stream.
He said the sale they put up. We got to talk a little bit last week and text back and forth with email. He said just the Memorial Day sale, he extended out. He was bombarded. He said he's never had so much traffic.
Excellent.
So,
that's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
All right, I'll be
I
right
could
back,
just
guys.
text him, yeah, but I don't want to be that guy.
I'll throw him a text.
I try my damnedest not to be that guy.
Well, I love that they're getting busy now.
Oh,
So,
I do
mean,
too. I'm not saying that at all. Oh man, it has been a long week. For those of you watching, I apologize for the train wreck that was the video that came out today. Oh my god.
Dude, I have done videos before and thought, okay, I'm just going to get these out. I didn't make any mistakes. I'm good. And found out that I put like the same track in like 3 times, like repetitively. And shit like that happens, you know. And it's one of the, what can I say? It's one of the hazards of trying to get your motovlog going, trying to get your stuff going. And maybe a little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it narcissism or pride or whatever, but you start making the videos and going, I can do this, this is no problem, I didn't make any mistakes, load the video. Part of that is a lot of times I was finishing my videos at like 3 o'clock in the morning, just trying to get them out. I'm like, okay, cool, I did it right, fine, let me load this first thing in the morning, I'll load it. And then you end up finding out you made a huge mistake, or you left a track and you didn't mean to leave in. Like I meant to cut out like 5 minutes of dead space writing with no talking, and I accidentally left it in. I didn't cut it, and I'm like, well, it's there now.
Yeah.
Flip side of that, I've had people say, yeah, that's great. I love that, man. I love it when you're just quiet and just drive. Fuck, I don't. You know? But yeah, people love it. So it's funny what you find out people like that you don't realize until you accidentally put in a video, or you put it in a video and go, well, I'll just leave it and I'll cut it out later, and then people love it. So,
yeah. Well, there's one portion like right after the Dollar General. I was trying to sync my camera and accidentally left in the whole 3, 2, 1 bomb. Fuck! I meant to cut that out.
Yeah, so Dana says, yeah, it just shows you're human. I mean, and that shit happens, you know.
Yeah, I think it's also part that I'm hitting like major burnout right now.
It's also proof that we're not members of the Screen Actors Guild. I mean, we're not doing this we're not professionals.
Wait,
I got
you don't have your SAG card on you?
I do not. Yeah, I am non-union. I'm a non-union actor. That's true. I have my backstage pass, which is the company I use. It's backstage. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. Did you see the thing I posted? The dude that commented on it was on my tail light video.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was
the
funny
dude
as
was
fuck,
like,
actually.
yeah, I just got tired of seeing you fumble around. I'm like,
That shows you're
guess what,
human.
motherfucker? Yeah, I'm gonna fumble some more. Watch me. I love it when I watch somebody that I really think is a great mechanic, and I watch them fumble too.
Yeah, right. It's
So-
like it can't all just be like perfect. You never fuck up. It's always righty tighty. Like nothing goes wrong. You don't drop the 10 mm. How boring is
Never
that?
take
Like,
your eyes
no,
off
you have
the
to
10
throw in the
millimeter.
fucking flare.
Never take
like,
your eyes off the 10 millimeter.
It just shows that, you know, when you think you're an absolute fuck up, and then you see somebody that's a great mechanic that you see do awesome shit and they fuck up too, it just means that you're okay. It's all right. It's all right to mess up every once in a while,
Yeah.
because it happens.
I really want to know how that what do they call it, the crush nut, lock nut. I don't know. The clutch adjustment securing nut. I don't.
Oh yeah,
That.
backup nut.
Oh.
Backup nut.
It's a type of jam nut, I think.
Yeah, jam nut. I don't know how that vibrated loose. Oh, okay, it's a Harley. That's a given. But
I was guessing.
aside from that,
That's the answer.
I had literally just
Harley
went
Davidson.
through and did my 5K inspection, and that was one of the things that I checked. I was like, okay.
Right.
Did I fuck it
I
up?
gotta go grab a new battery for my lamp here. It's flashing at me.
I gotta grab another Mountain Dew.
Steve will be on in 10 minutes.
Okay.
No shit. We didn't
These
scare him off.
are phenomenal, by the way. The Baja Blast Hard Mountain Dews. This is a pineapple one. Oh. I can see why Jerry's addicted to the Hard Mountain Dews.
I like the pineapples. I like the peaches. No one else liked the peaches at the camp out.
Peaches,
Peaches. I like the
I
Blue
love
Star better. Life is pain.
It's funny how I'm getting a lot of comments on videos that have been published like a year ago or 2 years ago. And all of a sudden they're hitting mainstream again, getting a lot of comments.
Yeah, I have one video. It's a short actually. That it's probably my highest performing video. It was a video I did about the adapter you need to use some Purple Panda mics with the GoPro external adapter, and many people have had similar issues to me. So apparently there's a lot of people on the internet that wanted to know how to make that work. You have to have an adapter because the Purple Panda mics come with like it's TRRS, but you need it to be TRS, I think, or something to that effect. It's got 3 bands. You need 2. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
So that video, every month I get dumb comments like, "Where's the link?" I'm like, I don't have a link. Like, I'm not throwing a link out to some Amazon seller. Fuck that.
The dumbest comment I ever got was one on it was my first Forgotten Angels video, and I put out a video and then put out a second one, and there was so much content for my first camp out, I put up a third one, and somebody went in there and said, "Well, you should have done a summary at the very beginning of your video where you summed up what happened in the first 2 videos."
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah, I should have hired a fucking
No.
production crew too to make my video better. How about
Yeah.
you go fucking backseat direct somebody else's channel? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Well, what I
Do you want to know
do
what
is
happened in the
that-
first 2? Watch the first 2.
That's what
It's
I
like
said. I said I
magic.
did label this as part 3, and you know, would have in the very beginning of part 3 if I would have gone, "Hey, if you want to know more, go back to the first 2 that I made because that's all the content." Would that have made it better if I said that? Or if I spent 30 minutes
No.
totally rehashing
No.
the other 2 videos? No.
It's a lost cause. Like, literally, there is no winning. It's just like, you just gotta let. I'm learning, I should say. Really, still learning. You just gotta let like shit like that just go.
Water
I
off a
also
duck's
wanna-
back.
Yeah, and I do. I talked to Nada about this. Even Nada on the road said she was getting, she gets weird comments and she gets nasty comments. And I told her, I said, I let my backup crew take care of that. I said, I don't face those guys head on because people in the comments will jump in and defend me.
And the
Because if
backup
I do
crew's
it-
assholes.
Yeah, if I do it, I'm dirty. If they do it, I'm like, okay, and I can keep my hands clean. And I'll say, if I say anything, it'll be, okay, well, you should check out my other videos because they're better.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for boosting the algorithm by commenting. So, but
Yeah.
if you go into those people that comment, if you go into their YouTube accounts, there's no thumbnail. They have
Nope.
0 videos posted. So immediately, I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, because if you did, you would have had videos. Thanks for watching.
Oh God, talking about thumbnails. I despise making thumbnails. I am terrible at it. I'm going to start
Hear me
letting Mrs. Goon take care of the thumbnails. I'm like, here's what I
There's
have.
only-
Here's the
I think
idea
there's
that I
only a
have
couple
for an idea that I have for a title. Pick a random frame out of the video and just run with it.
That's what I do. I'll pick a random frame, I'll freeze it, I'll blow it up, make it its own picture, do a screen capture, and then put words on it, and I'm done. I used to see the headache and have so much heartache over thumbnails. Now a thumbnail will take me a minute, 2 minutes, maybe, tops.
Yeah, I used to put so, and I just stopped caring, and I started getting more compliments on. That's a really good thumbnail. It took me 30 seconds. What the fuck do you mean it's a good thumbnail? I hate it.
It is just a thumbnail. The coolest comment I got was actually talking with Nada when we did our night before we did our interview. We did a pre-interview and just talked a little bit. I'm like, well, just tell me what you want for your colors, and she goes, oh, your best colors are always red and yellow, right? Because that's all what you always use. And I'm like, do I? Yeah, I guess I do. Because they're the ones that pop the most, and now that's what people expect of me. Somebody told me one time, if you start doing something, people will expect it.
That's why I haven't changed from black and green.
Yeah, it becomes your thing without even you knowing that it's your thing.
Yeah.
Because it's you. It's the real you. Things you do all the time, people start noticing, and then they kind of expect it all the time, and it becomes like an inside joke. And then it becomes an enjoyment to them to watch you do those things that you don't even know you're doing.
Dinah does not like the red.
Well, guess what? I have yellow too. I tried blue because blue is kind of like my logo colors and stuff, and the blue.
It blends in too easy. That's a problem.
It blends
with that.
into everything.
Yeah, unless like I honestly, now that you say it, like I almost exclusively use like a really like highlighter yellow, and sometimes a red, because that's the best contrast, especially when you're in an editor. It's just like, I'm like, duh, like I wouldn't choose anything else, especially if you can get a little bit of like a what do you call it, like a shadow or a stroke. If you're on a DaVinci, it's a stroke, but like yeah, like where you put a little bit of background to it. Oh my gosh, it pops like boom. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my words! So when I put up my subtitles, I've learned how to use the stroke, and it makes it so much easier to read, and it pops.
Yeah.
You like the stroke, do you?
Yeah,
You don't know?
Well, more of a, I'm more of a four-stroke guy, but I used to be a two-stroke guy.
Stage. Blue sensitivity.
Like now, because I've been trying to like not borrow from like everybody's videos, but figure out what works best with how I film and this, that, and the other, which is why I went to the 360 cam up in the corner. Because I was like, okay, it's either transition back and forth all the time, or since both feeds are already running, just fucking send it. Fucking send her, bud.
Do what works. I mean, I don't think it's really stealing. I mean, if you look at,
Hey,
you
Sky.
look at TV, you look at movies. They're not really stealing from each other, but they use the things that work.
Yeah.
Putting a guy as your main character is some dude with a shaved head with a 5 o'clock stubble, or whatever. They're going to use that.
Sounds like
and
he's
they're
got
gonna run with
experience here.
it. They run with it. I mean,
Jason
look at all the
Statham,
movies.
Rainy Rider.
Somebody showed me. Yeah, somebody showed me one time. They made a meme about it of the most popular 2000s movies. The titles in the bills and the posters for the movies all had white highlights in the background. The letters were orange and blue against each other, contrasting. One side of the screen would be blue, one side would be orange. Then the words would always pop with like really hard green or red lettering. And I went back and started looking at Amazon titles on Amazon Prime. I'm like, holy shit, that's right. Every freaking movie, every top bill movie, top 10, is those colors.
So Doug's just in the chat posting fucking recipes for pizza,
Dude, I wish I could see the chat.
making me
Doug
even
is-
more hungry.
Doug's my new best friend. He's sending me a secret package, and he's putting pizza or whatever recipes in the fucking chat. Hell yeah, man.
Homemade dough, Alfredo sauce, fresh cilantro, cheese, shredded chicken, bacon, jalapenos, and pineapple. Rowdy Stoned would eat that entire damn thing.
I'm not ready to get stoned anymore.
I mean,
I don't
I'm
know,
sure
I
it
don't-
doesn't.
I think for the sake of legalities, we should say he doesn't. I don't think he does, but
He just listens
Just
to a
like
Hinder
Sid
song. Good God,
Just
I
like
can't believe
Sid
I just made that reference. God, I'm getting old.
I hate, it hurts to say this, but you're still 20 years behind me.
oh,
Ah,
Oh,
there's the man again.
the man,
The man.
the myth,
Again.
the boot legend.
The man.
I'm gonna get a camera working.
I thought we would have
Jesus.
scared you off with our antics and
Oh,
people just randomly falling asleep on stream and anything else. Like I thought we had the one Steve appearance and then it was done. No, he's back.
No, he loves it. He loves it here.
Wait,
He
hold on.
puts the
How
camera
do I turn on
icon.
the camera? I don't, like,
should be like
why is this so
Camera
difficult?
icon.
The what?
Click the camera icon to turn it on.
There you go.
What's up, fellas? Happy Friday.
Happy
Happy
Friday.
Friday.
I don't need to barge in, so you guys can keep talking about what you were talking about.
Oh, we're just bullshitting.
We were.
That's this
bullshitting about-
entire podcast is us just
Trolls.
bullshitting.
That's good.
Yeah, I think
was-
technically we're supposed to have a topic, but most nights I feel like it doesn't matter.
It gets
Yeah,
put
I-
up at some point during the week, and then we just forget about it. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to talk about how we're going to have a contest about trying to look at the new Harley CVOs and find out which bolt pattern was different. 'Cause that's about.
I didn't know.
change.
I thought Indian came out with a
Ooh.
CVO this year.
You know,
Uh,
actually, okay, I will.
I think
let's
Harley came
pause.
out with a new Indian CVO. I think that's how it works.
Really quick. I did watch a video about. I was gonna say it was 2 hours ago, but it was 2 hours before 2 hours ago. So about 4 hours ago, Jixer Food. I don't know if you follow him. He's a really like in the know. He knows about Harley engines and all this shit. But he pointed out something that I had not picked up on about the CVO release. And that is, in his words, is that they're grooming Harley owners for the future of liquid cooling. So the placement of the oil coolers, like they've made some stylistic changes that would allude to the fact that in the near, not too distant future, we could see a big old radiator kind of like right in the frame, just tucked away where you would normally see an oil cooler or something that would look more Harley-esque and not Harley.
I think
I'm
they're already
just,
doing that.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say Harley owners need to stop being such picky bitches and accept the fucking future. Otherwise, there's not gonna be any Harleys to fucking ride, or new
Oh,
Harleys
that
to
really
ride.
interesting. Well, look at the European Harleys. They are not the same Harleys that are being released over here.
No.
No, because
All
they're
of
different
those are water
standards.
cooled. They won't put them on the road if they're not. They have to meet EPA. They're not. Theirs is the EPA. It's called something else, but
Well,
they
the
have
Mike
to
8s
meet
are
the-
still making that standard, barely. But the oil cooled engines are still barely making that standard. That's why Harley's pushing the Revolution Max so hard. Now, granted, we could argue had they kept up with the original Revolution and the V-Rod, we wouldn't be in this situation now. We would have already had a fully water cooled fleet. But
No pow, baby.
it's in the past.
Even before the V-Rod, Harley had a water cooled engine. I can't remember which one it was. I saw a thing. I think it was on Fortnite. It's about Harley. God, Fortnite has such good shit. But anyway,
Yeah, true.
and other things.
Indy Rich has
But,
great
yeah.
boots.
And you and Judge have great boots. One of the things we were talking about earlier, Steve, was supporting local shops and vendors. I went to a shop today on the way home from work, little bitty power sports shop, and the dude was so thrilled to talk to me and interview with me and talk about his little shop. And they're all they're doing is small four-wheelers and some small dirt bikes and stuff, and they're trying to get into bigger stuff. He was so proud to talk about their shop. So
You should be proud.
Support your local shop.
Hey, Bleak.
Local shops are tough though because it's like in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s, basically retail in general, like the reps for all the stores were kind of the gatekeepers for your gear. So if you wanted your brand in a motorcycle store, the reps held all the control.
Yeah.
And it's kind of not that way at all anymore. Like if you want to sell a product now, you're going to look for it online. It's unlikely that you're going to buy it in a store. Like I don't have anything in stores. I've had a ton of people reach out to me. I've had Harley dealerships reach out to me, and I give them my prices and I give them discounts, like pretty substantial ones. I used to. It's called Keystone, is what retailers expect. So if I buy something for 50 and they set, I sell it to them for 100 and they sell it for 200. That's what retailers expect. So Union Garage, back when it was in Brooklyn, reached out to me. I think this was before the pandemic, and he said, "Oh, I really like your boots, blah blah blah." And this was early versions. And I was like, "What are you looking at in terms of margins?" And he's like, "Well, we're doing Keystone." And it's like, okay, no, I don't have to do that. I can sell direct to customers and have a really good exchange policy, and return policy. And it's just really like you support your local, but they also need to understand that this is an age where people can sell anything direct to consumer. And so the days of like a 100% markup, they're gone. So like I've had so many local, like small mom and pop stuff wanting to carry my gear, but it's like they ask for Keystone and then they ask for net terms. It could be net 30, net 60, net 90 to pay me. And it's like, what are you talking about? And then like in the past, if your stuff didn't sell and it was in the store, basically the shop would, or the rep would, I guess, call the manufacturer and say, "Hey, these boots didn't sell, come pick them up because we don't want them." And so the onus was really on the manufacturer to kind of be the bitch in the situation and kind of kowtow to. There was, and you talk to any of the reps from the mid 2000s, they'll all tell you the same thing. They were the gatekeepers for motorcycle parts and stuff like that. But I sell direct to consumer because it's just easier, and I get to keep all my money instead of a minuscule fraction.
Yeah, but you are a small shop. You are the guys who we're talking about. Give us your business. Give us a chance to shine. These guys, real nice guys. They're doing a combination, small engine shop, motorcycle shop, four-wheeler shop, slingshot, and they're doing these high-scale VR or not, or what I'm talking about, RC cars.
Oh, hell
Cars you
yeah!
buy for $150 and you sink $500 into, turn them into rock climbers. That's become a big thing for people to spend their time doing. Guys that can't afford motorcycles, I guess, because
shit's expensive.
Yeah, oh no, it's a legit hobby. Like people spend, well, all hobbies get expensive.
Every hobby is expensive.
Like, that's why surfing is nice. You keep buying surfboards and wetsuits, but you really only need a surfboard and a wetsuit and a way to get to the beach, and that's kind of it.
Motorcycles used to be a really inexpensive hobby, and until I learned a lot more about maintenance and repair and upgrades, and then all of a sudden it costs more. It's just like running. Running used to be an inexpensive way to get fit, and then all of a sudden, I discovered, $150 shoes and the right, water bladder, and
You
and
take
then all of a
water
sudden,
with you when you're running?
dude, I do half marathons, so yes.
Yeah,
This is before the broken neck stage.
You know what?
I'm gonna
Okay.
get back to it, but
You raise a really good point though. I think in today's age, it is actually more expensive to not know how to work on your own shit. Like, especially with motorcycles, particularly. And if you're a Harley owner, you know that even more so. Like,
No, that's the most
if you're just at the
reliable
will-
brand. What are you talking about?
If you're at the will of your own dealership, man, just be ready to fork it over. But
Fuck
I think you could. My point is, like, you could save a lot of money knowing some of the basics. Oil, 3-hole oil change, how to adjust tension on your rear wheel, whether that be belt or chain. I like to know how to do forks, but that's a little bit more advanced. Like to change out fork oil and all that shit and service shocks. But man, like, I don't know. We live in a weird world.
I'm gonna make it
Well-
weirder for you. I remember back when you could walk into a Harley dealer, you couldn't touch the bikes, you couldn't test drive the bikes. They never had dealer days. And now you can just about go into any Harley shop that has a used bike on the floor, or it has a bike that's ready to send, and they'll go, yeah, test drive it, take it out. And even 10 years ago, that wasn't the case. Which on
3
the
years
flip side
ago,
of
that wasn't the case.
Well, 10 years ago, you could walk into any Honda dealer and go, I want to test drive that bike. And they'd go, oh, there you go, take it. Now, you walk into a Honda dealer, they're like, oh, sorry, we don't put oil in them until you buy them.
What?
Yeah. This is no shit. So when I went to get the BMW,
What?
I went to the BMW shop and I said, I really like that bike. He goes, you want to take it out? You want to take it out for a spin? My Grand America. And I go, sure.
Yeah, of course.
Because they know if you get on that bike, you're going to buy it. And everybody,
Hey,
just like,
Jerry.
car dealerships used to, if you went in to look at a car, they'd say, take it home for the weekend.
Yeah, that's
But they know
true.
if you get your butt behind it, you make a couple trips on it, and your friends see you in it, and your friends say how gorgeous you look on it, you're going to buy it.
Yeah, the product used to sell itself, right?
Well, I went to the Honda dealer, and I was looking at the Gullwing B, and I was also looking at their new, what was that damn thing called, the Valkyrie. I wanted to take the Valkyrie out, and he goes, we haven't put any fluids in it yet. And I said, okay. And he goes, well, I can get you one to test drive. And I said, okay, that'd be cool. He goes, well, let me call the guy. And I said, okay. He goes in the back, and he calls. I'm thinking he's going to call the mechanic up.
yeah, he's gonna call the guy to bring some
He
fluids
called-
over.
No, he called the guy that bought one to ask him if he would bring it back up to the dealership to let me ride
Yep. That is exactly what I thought was about to happen.
it. Guess
It's like,
what that guy said?
No.
Fuck no, it's my own shit.
You can go fuck yourself with someone else's dick, is what he said. He goes, no fucking way. I just paid $30,000 for this thing. I'm not about to let
Yeah.
someone else drive it.
Those are cool
He goes-
bikes, though.
But he said, sorry, man. Yeah, I don't think I can get him to bring it in. I'm like, who, the mechanic? And he goes, well, I called the guy that bought one, and I was going to see if he could bring it up and let you ride it. And I'll go, are you out of your mind?
How about we
I
put some
consider
oil
myself-
on that bike and let's just go run that one right
Yeah,
here.
I consider
Come on.
myself a nice guy. I would not let someone. If I got a call from the BMW dealer, as much as I love those guys, and they said, "Hey, bring your bike up here. Let some dude you don't know drive it that you don't even know if has license or not."
No.
No damn way. No damn way.
I mean, I'd charge him. I'd say, yeah, I'd do it for $1,000.
I would bring it up now and go, "Hope you drop it, where you can buy me another one."
Yeah, and there'd be some stipulations attached.
But I do want to learn like forks so that when I do put the ST fairing on the front, I can repack them make them a little bit stronger. Because I don't know if
Yeah.
the stock S forks from the year previous to the ST fairing are going to hold up very well to a new extra, I don't know, 100 pounds on the front, if that.
Yeah, I hate to sound like Philzilla, but I'm going to speak for Philzilla here and say that suspension is probably one of the best mods you can do to a bike. And if I wasn't poor, I would definitely do a full suspension on my bike. Because I know that the potential there, it's like you could have a really, really, really nice bike with You throw $1,000, maybe 2 into it, maybe 3 grand if you're really spendy, but it'll make such a huge difference.
Will tell you for suspension, especially on a Harley, something that has two shocks in the back and not a monoshock. If you mess up setting those. You ever seen somebody go into a death wobble?
Yep.
That's what that's from. Not setting your suspension equally on both sides. It causes your rebound and your compression to go at different rates when you hit a bump, and it will start knocking the bike sideways. That's how they go into the death wobble. So be
What's
very
the official
careful.
recovery for a death wobble? You just kind of ease off the brake and let it ride itself out? I forget.
Come off the throttle and slowly apply the rear brake only.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
that's technical.
Oh yeah.
Rear brake will straighten your bike up, and that's again. I hate to go back to Dan the fireman because he's a moron, but he's always. I've seen him in so many videos go, "Oh yeah, you can tell they applied too much back brake. That's why they laid the bike down." Are you out of your goddamn mind? The rear brake is the best way to straighten that bike up and to bring it under control because you drag it when you do that.
I'd heard two different schools of thoughts on it. It's either you fucking give it hell and let it force it straight, or you ride the back brake and let it ease itself.
No.
I was
No,
like,
you'll kill
I'm
yourself.
gonna stick with the back brake.
Dude.
I don't know what
you
you're
give
talking about, but I'm gonna stick with the back brake.
If you give it hell, you're trying to overpower the front wheel, and if you have any amount of steer or any amount of rebound wrong in your front forks, you're just going to drive yourself. You're gonna high side to the highest authority. You do nasty things to your body and the bike.
At that point, it's say la vie.
I thought Bri was joining.
Oh, where'd he go?
That was Yankee.
Oh, it's Mad Yankee, yeah.
I told Brian.
Are we getting Brad the biker tonight?
I talked to him about coming on.
Let me text him because he'll come on if I text him.
I was gonna text Brian.
So
Well, you go ahead. I've got his social handles. You probably got his phone number.
in the next 3,000 miles, I'm gonna be doing front and rear brakes on Siren. That's gonna be an interesting adventure, to say the least.
Brakes are easy.
They are. But it'll
Like,
be.
I haven't done Harley brakes yet, but I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I could do that.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't look that hard. I just
I
really
would
don't
give
want to
you
drop the
this.
wheels.
If you when you bleed your brakes, do it with the vacuum system. Don't try to do it with a pressurizing your brakes and using the bleeder open, close.
Yeah.
You'll screw yourself. Use the vacuum, and all you have to do is crack your bleeder and start pumping your vacuum, and it will clear your system out very easily.
So now, okay, I'm gonna ask a follow-up question then. Is that because of like systems like ABS, or you just find that's the case with Harley, generally speaking?
That's the case with every fluid brake system because what vacuum does is make your bubbles in your system bigger and pulls them out. If you try to pressurize the system, you're actually making your bubbles smaller and they can hide in your system. If you pull, all that gas expands and you pull it towards your vacuum. ABS only comes into effect when you've got you're actually actively braking. Otherwise,
and
your system
that's-
actually ignores it.
A lot of videos I'd seen about bleeding Harley brakes were like, it doesn't matter if you have ABS. It doesn't actually impact the bleeding process. But I don't know. I always open to other people's thoughts on that because I'm just a traditional. I mean, I came from dirt bikes. I still got dirt bikes. It's like you can do that on dirt bikes, and you can get your brake feel back really easily just to do the open. You know, you kind of got to multitask, and you can do it by yourself if you're really clever. But to open the valve, press the brake lever, close the valve, you know, that process and do that. I've had great success with that, but I've not had to do that on Harley yet. So sounds like I need to get me one of them little pressurized
Yeah, I'm gonna get the
one-way
pressure.
valve guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Vacuum
eventually
chamber.
gonna buy a air compressor and the little fucking
Yeah. That's
uh,
a tits.
the little suction cup dent puller, and the dents eventually can come out of Siren. But I'm a broke bitch, so
Let me show you what I got. Keep talking. I'll show you what I got. I'll be right back.
I've tried the super glue shit. It didn't work. I just don't like that dent in the side of my tank.
No, that you just gotta call somebody that does PDR, and they probably do it for $50 and get that dent out easily.
He was the guy that I called was the one who was like, yeah, just go to Harbor Freight, buy one of those suction cups, because he came out and looked at it, just right out. And you just run a heat gun over it as you do it. You'll be fine. All right.
Harbor Freight's a dangerous store
It is.
because you walk in looking for some basic ceramic magnets, and you walk out with a giant
Set of bolt cutters.
bolt cutters, which I actually did need, but it was between that and this giant fireman's hammer that looked like it was from The Shining.
Hell yeah.
But I had to cut. So when a container arrives, you need to cut the seal, and you need bolt cutters. I could have gotten a smaller one. I didn't need the size, but it looked cool.
Cheap.
Why go small?
So
That's what
like
she said.
you walk into buy magnets that are $2, and you walk out with like $200 worth of shit.
Yeah. A full ride up on Lyft is my next.
Hobo freight,
Hobo
$600. I've not put a bike up on mine yet, to be fair. So I guess I can't actually give that referral out to the Harbor Freight lift, but
I tried it, and it got me real nervous. Because, and I don't know if I got the wrong lift, or it's, not the right bike for it, but the area that you got to place it. And especially if you're alone, like it was real sketch. So I was like, no, there's just no way I'm lifting up this bike.
I mean,
With the Harbor Freight jack.
Josh does sketchy shit with his bikes on Harbor Freight lifts all the time.
Yeah, I like my bikes though.
yeah.
Juice, I'm jealous of that cigar right now. I'm not even gonna
Oh,
lie.
dude, I just picked up a bundle. I thought it was gonna be like over $100. I went to this really seedy Wild Bill's tobacco type. Actually, it was Admiral Tobacco, which actually I think is a franchise. But I was like, you know what? This weekend I kind of want a cigar, and maybe more than one cigar for the weekend. And I walk in, and it's nothing but just fucking wrappers to make, joints and blunts. And I'm like, oh, I am in the wrong place. And I happened to just come across they had one cabinet with cigars in it, and there was just this brand, which I'm not going to promote them because I'm not sponsored, but it's a really cheap brand. They're Nicaraguan though. I like Nicaraguan cigars. They do make really, really decent cigars. So it was like 20 or 25 cigars for $60, and they're not small. Like this is like a normal, like this is what I would think like a normal ass cigar would. It's fine, but like for $60, man.
It'll buy.
Winner, chicken
Hell
dinner
yeah.
for this weekend.
Bryce says he's on the live with Denver.
Oh, they're doing their own.
Okay.
I thought he might be doing something tonight.
So what kind of
You said
contraption? No, I'm sorry.
He said that you like doing squad, but there was way too much crosstalk.
I've got him Sunday night. I'm interviewing him on my live stream.
Oh yeah, that's what you said that I could jump in on.
You can jump, no, this one too, and that one. You can jump both.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we don't know how to not talk over each other in this one.
Don't we have
Yeah.
those?
Rude.
I mean, like, there is a way to get headphones that you can hear yourself talking and you can hear the guest talking.
That would
Like,
fuck me up. I couldn't do that.
But that's what Joe Rogan does, and that's what.
No, I know. Like that's like a producer's headset. Like I just can't do that. If I hear myself talking, it's like I don't know. Just my brain just like like I just like malfunction. I can't do it.
So back when I was in a band, we used monitors, and the weird thing about using monitors is the reason you wear headsets and you see these guys on TV doing it is where you can hear yourself and you can hear your band live and not hear the reverb off the speakers that are going out to the stage.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
until you can learn to drown out the actual stage speakers and the audience speakers, it really drives you crazy.
Yeah.
But you learn,
Yeah,
you learn
you-
to do it.
you
Selective
know,
hearing and all.
Crosstalk. There's a point to it. Did you guys? What were the overall thoughts on the CBO commercial? Did you guys already talk about that?
Yeah, no, we didn't really dive into it a whole lot, but I have some thoughts. I don't know, Goon, did you actually get to watch the video yet?
I haven't got to watch it yet. I've been so damn
Have you
busy.
watched it all the way to the very, very end?
I did, but I was admittedly like towards
No,
the
no,
end.
no.
I'm like, oh, this
The
is like
very,
something
very
insider, blah
end.
blah.
The very end, and the two guys who are on the bikes.
Yeah, it was like, I don't remember who it was, but yeah. By that point, I was like, man, I was like a little bit over the CBO thing.
I
So
did not. I'm
did-
assuming there's a secret. I might have to watch it again because I didn't really. It drives me like the Indian commercials. Some of that stuff just drives me nuts. The things they like to showcase about the bikes that they think people want to see.
No, I here's the deal. I think they did a really good job with their target market. The people that are actually going to buy CVO, they nailed it.
Right.
You know, stage 2 sound system, big gigantic fucking screen. There's no more any sort of what do you call those, like gauges? Like it's all digital, everything. So I was thinking, it reminded me of, because I know Goon has one, it reminded me of like what Ram does with their trucks. Like, oh shit, we got the biggest fucking digital screen display in our shit now. Like, fuck you, Tesla. Like, they're just trying to one up everybody. That was one thing I took away from it, is like the big ass screen. I don't know that everybody's gonna love it, but the CVO guys specifically that want the best, the coolest, the newest shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that like everything about that thing was like, yep, sign me up. 50 grand, sure.
You see this orange?
Yeah, that's
This
good.
is not the same orange that we used last year. We've changed the hue by 1.5 gradients.
I will
Okay.
say, no, I will defend the paint job. And not that it's something I would pick for myself. I think it does look really, really good. Orange is, I do love orange, but like, not on a Harley for me, but like, I do like the way they did that paint job. It actually looks pretty fucking good. And then the silver.
The gold wing looking paint job?
No. They actually have like an
No, that's
orange.
the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, there's a
Yeah.
new, like, orange and whatever the fuck they call it. It looks,
Okay.
I think it looks
the military. I like the military look in the military edition bikes until I saw the price of them. And I'm like, there's no damn way
I
I'm
forgot they
paying
were
this
doing
much for a military job.
Well, the problem is that like when you start introducing like abnormal colors, like black is this, and you start adding, like you start getting into specific colors, like your market just gets small. That's why black is always going to sell, always, always. So like I could order T-shirts in red, could have done that, but the market is like, no, no one really wants to wear a red T-shirt all the time. But you know, that's the thing. It's like, well, the paint jobs are cool, but and the one that was all black, I forget what they call it.
Super black.
vivid
like,
black.
yeah, something like that. But you know, you just kind of shrink your market. And for 50 grand, if I want to, I'm not going to rattle can it. If I want to replace coloring, that's for sure.
I will.
Which I was really surprised by the way. That thing turned out really well.
So, one of the bigger takeaways that I saw in the comments of the CVO the reveal video is that those bikes didn't come with tour packs. So you're spending all that fucking money, and then you're still gonna spend another 2 or 3 grand to get a color matched tour pack on, especially like the Road Glide. I don't know. I just feel like it's like it should be there. Actually, at both of them, like it just seems like, I don't know what aesthetic they're going for, or they just know, they really know that their target market are people that don't actually tour those bikes. They just take them out of their garage once every 6 months.
Yeah.
I'll be damned if they don't look slick though.
But for 50 grand, like, or I'm assuming it's probably 50, 52. I mean, that's pretty standard for a CDO, right? Like, you would expect, like, they would just throw that in. I would.
I mean,
Better to
yeah,
have
you're not
and
wrong.
not need.
But
You-
this
you would
Road
hope.
Glide CVO, I'd tear the fucking road up on this thing. Oh my god.
I love the Road Gloride Limited, but by the time they get everything on there that I would want, it's like
Straight,
I can't afford
just
it.
from the looks
Then I wouldn't
at it,
want to
from
drive it
straight out of
back
the
or
factory,
whatever.
I would run with it.
So the biggest takeaway from the CVO release is really an in-depth understanding of, okay, we've got variable valve timing now, and what does that do to aftermarket? Because there's no aftermarket for Harley Davidson VVT with the 121 motor. Like, I don't know that the aftermarket is caught up with, like, okay, we can put these cams in and it won't completely grenade the motor. It's gonna, I think we're entering that, like, you've got to have cams and you've got to have a really good flash, something that's like really gonna match the motor itself, because you can't just, it's not like twin cam in days, you just throw the 585 easy start cams from SNS. Like, no, it has to be well thought out, so you don't
It's
actually
the
blow
same
the
thing
shit
with
up.
like the aftermarket community for Hondas when VTEC came out. It took a few years for aftermarket products to catch up and adapt to the release of VTEC.
Mm-hmm.
And then when
No.
Volkswagen swapped over, excuse me, from, and this was like 08-ish, when the Golf went from whatever engine was being used in the Mark IVs to the TSI, and there's another three-letter acronym. Because they came out with two
TDI
different
for diesel, but yeah.
well, they had the diesel engine too, but they had two separate gasoline engines. One was an absolute flop, so they reworked it and came out with a TSI engine. But they had, the aftermarket had to catch up with those engine transitions.
Yeah.
Is there a cricket directly on your mic? Like,
Is it me?
It
You
is.
get
it's
attacked
probably
by
me.
do you have a
crickets.
pet cricket?
Well,
and
I don't know.
it kind of chills with you while you do the live stream? Or is it like,
I'm outside. I didn't even notice the
Just
crickets
wants to
now
feel
until you just
special.
said it. Now I hear nothing but crickets.
I hadn't honestly paid attention to the cricket because I'm so used to hearing them.
well,
I know it's always Goon's this is Mike with the crickets. He lives
Yeah,
out.
if I'm
in
out
Austin.
here and you see this background, I'm outside.
no, it's not like, it's cool if you got like a pet cricket and it's chilling on the mic. I have a cat at home.
This is just Apple headphones too. It's not like I'm not nothing crazy here. I'm not trying to like
Always up in your
really
face.
gather my surroundings. All right, what up, Lee? Thanks for joining,
Hey,
buddy.
what up? How's everybody?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I
Good.
was out riding with an old friend who also has the same cafe bike I do.
Nice.
No shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
but he's
speaking of
got-
bleak bikes. All right, we have to pause. What's the saga on potential new bike, or are we not talking about it?
No, instead of going the route of financing, I'm gonna instead try to find a cash deal for a slightly older Vaquero. Still gonna find me a Vaquero. I want a Vaquero. I've like settled on a Vaquero. However, there's always an indefinite however. If the right 85 to 95 Voyager came along, I'd probably feel froggy over something like that too.
So my Harley dealer had a
Go with the
Vaquero.
Vaquero. Oh, shit.
The Vaquero was white and green.
Yep.
Actually, when I looked at it like 2 months ago, and it was on my
18.
video. When I saw it, I go,
Or the 18 or a 22.
"Who would love that?"
Yeah.
I think it was an 18, but I was like,
Yep.
it was a beautiful bike, and they were selling it for like dirt cheap. I think it was like 65. It wasn't
Right.
very much.
Right. So if I want to get a couple year older one, just do a cash deal instead of financing a 23, because I'm already carrying like 2 vehicle notes, and they're like, that's mighty crispy, young fella. Like, don't tell me how to live my life.
Can you go see if it's still there? Then you can come visit me.
Right.
I'll go down
Well,
tomorrow and see if it's still there, and then I'll call you.
Until then, or whatever. I ordered. I had a seat ordered for the Connie with a backrest. And I can
Nice.
Do some crazy mile crushing.
Yeah, I miss my Connie, to be fair. I know, and Rowdy is not on the stream tonight, but I know he hasn't been able to give it the love and attention it needs. When I delivered it to him, and I don't think most people know this, but pretty much the day he rode it out to his own. Oh, there's fucking Rowdy. He's
There
going
he
right now.
is.
Yeah. You spoke his name.
When he rode it out to his place, the fan went out. So I don't know if it was just the fan fuse, but whatever. But like, it sounded like, well, I know he got stuck in traffic in Florida, and it's a lot warmer in Florida than it is in Michigan. And this fucker started steaming over, and I'm like, oh my god! Like, I just wanted to sell the bike to him. And I felt so bad.
Don't feel bad. Like, it's an overheating bike. That's not a big deal.
How far
Mine's
have you
old
made
enough
it,
to
bud?
drink. You know, it comes with its own issues.
There you go. I love the bike. I can't wait to finish it so I can ride it.
Dude, I did 1,270 on that on a weekend, and it was like nothing. The first stretch, 9 hours. I did it in like seven and some change on the way back. The first way was 9 hours, 475 miles, and I was just cruising. It was fine. The only thing I could have wanted for was the backrest. On the way back, I was ready to get home, so I romped on it. I pegged 90 all the way back on that 21-year-old bike, and I kind of felt like Josh or something, and was like, "Oh, so this is what riding it on an old school bike going fucking 90 miles an hour is like." Wonderful.
Yeah, that mine love to just and Rowdy, you'll know at some point, but like that bike likes to just cruise at like 85.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as a 7th gear mod for that bike, and I think it has to do with changing the final gear ratio because it's a shaft drive. There is a mod there you can do to make it cruise at a little bit lower RPM, but man, I don't know. I just remember like that bike will do 80, 85 no problem. The only thing I wanted was a throttle lock or like some form of cruise control because it is a little buzzy.
I got that cramp buster.
Yeah,
and,
same. I mean, Rowdy's got it now, but yeah.
Yeah,
I've got one of those on my
pretty
V-Strom
handy
too, and they're great.
Yeah.
I would not recommend putting a cramp buster on a Harley. I don't know how Beth does it. Well, Beth's is an 883. I had one on mine, and when I would hiccup wrong, when I go to press into a corner or something, all of a sudden it would accelerate, take off on me.
Well, now see, the Harleys all have that piece on the end of their grip that's like, it's like a Shaker has it on his bike. It's like a cramp buster, but it's like built right into the grip.
Yeah,
fucks
me up all the
throttle
time.
tension, the throttle tension thing. It's not really what it is. People use it for that. That is not what it's for.
Oh.
That's to take up the tension in your throttle, and it is so weird to me when I see people use that as a cruise control.
I'm talking about like the paddle, like on the grip itself. There's like a little bit of a wing, kind of like a cramp buster. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like I've got that on my bike, and like it's not quite as aggressive as a cramp buster, but it does pretty much the same thing. But when you've got a cammed twin cam, trying to go low speed, and you've got your palm on that, I find that it's very not steady at low speed because if you just happen to breathe wrong on that, it's like it just lurches forward crazy.
Yeah, and that's the same thing I got with my cramp buster. If I'm cruising along and it's great, I go to push it down into a corner up to the right, and it fucking lurches on me, and that is not a good thing, especially on a Sportster, for it to lurch while you're leaning. That's really crazy.
Yeah, the old lurch and lean. That's a diagnosis.
I want to point out, my last Harley joke of the night, they called the new paint job on the Road Glide Limited, they call it the Heirloom, and I call it the Honda Loom.
Yeah.
It's a Honda paint job.
Yeah, they even did the
It looks good.
like the Eagle.
It looks like an old Honda Goldwing. It's a
I like
beautiful
it.
paint job, but it does not add $20,000 to that bike.
No, I don't even know if it adds 5.
It does if you're
Like
Harley
they
fan.
would like to think that though.
It's funny, most vendors or most brands when you do the special paint jobs, you're adding $150, $200, $300 sometimes. That paint job they'll tell you is for any of the like even on the regular Road Glide Limited, the what's it, bright billiard blue, I think is what it's called. That paint job, just to paint it the billiard blue, $4,000. Ridiculous.
I think I think it's all more of it's just more of an exclusivity thing.
Yeah.
I agree it's not worth it to normal people, but Harley lovers,
Well, Dixon
they
does
do
it.
get
Dixon
excited
does
over
the
it.
same thing. Hey, we have an exclusive pattern. It's only limited to like 5,000 runs, and we're gonna give you the shirt for $60.
I have the Eddie Lawson throwback cafe bike. You know, it's painted up like his 70s race bikes. They got the Fast Johnny out for Harley that looks like the original Yanko Dodges, and it's pretty dope.
Well, that's different. Like I would pay extra to have, let's say, a Nikki Hayden painted up RC51. That's different
Yeah.
than just I'm gonna paint a bike blue and I'm gonna charge you
feel
more
like-
for it.
There's probably a meme or 2 or 3 out there about the Nikki Hayden edition, Nikki Hayden edition bikes out there. But yes, I think that is worth paying for if you're really into the sort of like niche culture of it.
I don't know what
I
I'd
was
pay
so-
for a Guy Martin edition bike. You know,
I was so
what would
into
that
our
look like?
to GP and Nikki Hayden and his brother. I was so into that, and it's I'll tell you off stream how much we were into that. But yes, I would actually pay extra for a Nikki Hayden paint job.
Were you like total street Rossi back in the day or what?
We were actually gonna name our next kid, mine and the Pilgrim. We're gonna name our kid Nicholas Hayden. That's how
No
we were.
shit.
That's how much we
Oh,
were into Nikki.
so you
Hayden.
weren't street Rossi. You were street Hayden. Like
It was gonna
you
be
were
Nicholas
fully
Hayden
bought,
Ryder.
sold.
No, I loved Rossi also. My wife hated him. She called him Monkey Boy, but I thought it was
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
awesome how much
You have
he
more
was-
experience with that, Jason, than a lot of people with the issues that you've had, coming out being.
Okay, Bri, come
All right,
back.
I'll be right back.
He's gonna go kill his cricket.
Get it some headphones. Put it
Where'd
on
everybody
the stand.
go?
I'm
Here,
still
buddy.
here. I've been on
you
the road
guys
since
were-
Indiana, and I'm tired.
How was your trip, by the way? Tell us all about that. You have been moving.
I'm still on it.
You're still
Um,
on it. How was the
Yeah, I'm
KOA?
on my way to a KOA in Macon right now. It's been brutal. I won't lie. Like, I don't understand how other people can do it like as often as certain people do. But I guess your muscles adapt and stuff. Mine have not adapted yet.
Well, the people that do that, they're not riding 700 miles a day. They're doing 250, 300 miles a day and stopping. And they're not riding 250 miles at a time. They're breakfast, ride for 200 miles, take a break, walk around town, go to a restaurant, get back on the bike, do another 150, 200 miles, and stop for the day. If they even do 400 miles a day. But they
I
don't. They
feel
usually
good.
do about 150 in the morning, 150 in the afternoon, and then call it quits.
Makes sense.
Much time left in the day.
You enjoy it. You're not trying to get somewhere. You're trying to get somewhere by next month. You're not trying to get there by Tuesday. So
Yeah,
you
this
can
week
actually
I
have
was-
time to have fun.
Like, when I left, I had to be somewhere in Chicago at 3. And so I left Monday night and just hauled all the way through. Like, I stopped. I slept behind a Waffle House, and then I slept on a picnic table at a rest stop. I think that was like the 2 or 3 times that I slept on the way up to Chicago. But I got there and I had fun with my friends, and I turned around. Well, I didn't turn around. I stayed at a friend's house and then turned around.
Deadline stress changes the dynamic. It makes it, no matter how much fun it's gonna be, it makes it less fun.
Right. Pumpkin's doing a great job of holding down the fort, so I'm on my way back to her. I'll get there soon.
Welcome, Bri.
Howdy, howdy.
How goes it?
It goes. It's Friday.
You have a date lined up for
Howdy.
Sunday.
I'm prepping. I'm studying.
Don't
Studying?
Study. Stay loose. Stay loose.
No.
Steve's demanded nothing but excellence, so I have to,
Perfection.
I have to show up. He's worried I'm gonna have like a weird seam on my shirt or something. He's gonna have to flame me.
Look your laces. Everything will be
Yeah. Yeah. What's up with no round laces, Steve? Gotta fix that.
What?
fine.
Last
Round
time,
laces.
coming.
They
Nobody
come on
wants
tidy.
round laces.
Wait, so if you guys want round laces, you could. There's like a million. I could send you some links.
No, I give like.
That's the
people ask me
correct
about the
answer, Steve.
laces. People ask me about the laces. I
Don't buy
send
into their
links.
bullshit.
I can
Don't
see
buy
why
into
not.
their
Like,
bullshit, man.
I feel like round laces do come untied easier. And on a bike, that's no bueno.
I just want to address Sunday that they don't have Velcro Indy Ridge boots. I feel like it's ageism, but
I'd pay for some boa lacing on a pair of Indy Ridges.
the comment that I get the most is that can you guys add a zipper? And it's like okay, so you're just adding one more thing that can break.
Yep. Another failure point, right?
And it's just like, guys,
It's like 4 failure points. Because like the stitching that holds the zipper in can rip, the zipper itself can rust, snap. Like zippers suck.
and then you have to add something over the top, the Velcro. So it's like, no, you guys are just like, it's hard enough to get this boot to where it was, and all the boots to where it was, especially like the version 4s. No, I'm not.
They're a beautiful boot with all the makings of an icon or classic.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was just on HarleyDavidson.com, the homepage. It's a beautiful shot of the crows.
Nice.
Boom.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Indy Ridge version of the iconic El Señor motocross boot. I think the way you guys do leather, it would look really cool.
What was it called? The icon what?
El Señor. Got like a great big steel plate on the front. We're getting slapped with branches.
No shit.
Wait, which video are you looking at? I don't see crows.
They're a classic
Good at
Italian
HarleyDavidson.com.
motocross boot.
That's where I am.
On the front picture.
Okay, now I gotta check this out.
Seven like stickers on.
Well, okay. So that's Rob, and he was really pissed because he brought his Indy Ridge boots, but the stunt guy.
Whoa! Don't ruin the illusion for me, please.
The stunt guy was wearing different boots, and they had to match, so they gave him some crappy Harley boots. But look at John in the back.
I can't tell.
For the Harley homepage, the two guys on motorcycles that are chasing each other on the desert.
Yeah, and look at the guy who's not in the front, but the guy that's actually in focus. And look at his boots.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Thank you.
Well, that's a pretty big win.
Oh yeah, yeah, nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
In
They
terms
were-
of other boots that Indy Ridge doesn't make, I have to speak for my good friend Whiskey Chaser and offer that he's like, I'll wear Indy Ridge if they make Western or cowboy style boots, and I'm like, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I keep
But-
waiting.
I don't know that I could ever go back to not having boa. I love the boa. They're so comfy, so easy to deal with. You just click them, screw them, pop the little top, and you can pull your boot right off. Like boa was life changing for my boot wear, and
I tried wearing ratcheting boots. Hated them.
hated them. That's kind of that.
Hated 'em.
Either you love them or you hate them.
No, I
I
love
have-
my MX boots like that. Like, I don't feel any more secure with my feet than I do with like a good motocross or off-road enduro boot. But that's not what I go for street riding. That's not like the level of aggressiveness I go for. But that is a special kind of something. Your foot is like locked into a contractual agreement to do fun shit.
Yeah.
I love that description.
Yeah.
Because
That's
of my
a good
years of running, I have a very small ankle and a very large calf. Anybody who's gone to the campouts, you've seen them. So yeah, those
Like
ratcheting type boots will not fit me right.
Oh,
If I get them
sure.
big enough to fit my calf, they won't snug on my ankle. And if they're small enough for my ankle, then I can't ratchet the top strap.
Having spent most of my formative years as a skateboarder, I'm really fond of flat shoe, flat sole style boots. The first boots I ever really felt okay in were the Icon Stormhawks they have the boa on them, because you slip into it like you're slipping into a skate shoe, but then it's got all this upper, above heel protection, and when you're walking around in them, it doesn't feel like you're in a boot, which to me was sort of the determining factor for even buying them. Because then as soon as I get, like, say, a camp out, I throw a pair of Vans on, or I throw a pair of skate shoes on, and that's how I kick it in the weekend.
I feel like you just described Henry Rollins' boots.
I used to love Icon. The Icon you bought 20 years ago is not the same Icon you buy now.
Hail to the no, it's not.
Oh, I'm sure the
Everything.
Don't get
boots
me
I bought
started
were
on
crazy
Icon.
overpriced.
Yeah, I was typing in El Senor, and I wasn't getting anything. It's so it's the Elsinore C2. Man, those are cool. What was the other one that you mentioned?
Like boa lacing.
Yeah, no, not the bow lacing, but the model with the flat sole. The one that you're just talking about.
Yeah, the
The
icon.
Els-
You were just talking
Oh,
about
the
that.
Elsinore.
The,
The Elsinore
the,
2.
the icons I have don't have a flat sole. They're the first boot to fit similar to a skate shoe that actually had a boot tread.
But that's not the Elsinore, isn't it?
No, the
The
El
Els-
Senor's a boot that's pretty much all leather with leather that goes into buckles. And the way
Yeah.
you guys do leather is really nice. Your leather is a very premium, very nice looking leather with the good hide on it. And those El Senors shine when they're done with a good leather. Because there's been a couple people who remade versions of them, and they kind of look like trash. But you guys make a really nice, really classy boot. If you made a version of it, it'd probably be very, very cool.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. The Elsinore CE. I'm looking on Revzilla right now.
The CE2. He's talking about the Elsinore. The Elsinore 2 is the ones with the flat sole, the ratchets.
Okay.
Yeah, they look cool, but man, I just can't wear boots like that. And
It's a lot.
if they made boots like that 20 years ago, yeah, I wouldn't.
Well,
I
and
wouldn't
you've told
buy them.
me that your indie ridges, you waxed them up or did something, and they were plenty waterproof for all the riding you've done. And a lot of the people who rocked them El Senors, they're not very waterproof. They're not.
Well,
Yeah,
all it
there's
says
knowledge
is
going out there.
CE boots. So it doesn't give any kind of description on like what it passed for CE. It just says CE. And they're relying on the fact that really nobody knows the testing process for CE and how many things they test. I just had to remake all of our labels to include how we scored on CE certification. It's odd.
I think they were using word judo there. It's not really a CE2. It's an Elsinore 2 CE, and they're counting on someone not really knowing what they're looking at and using that verbal jujitsu to make it look like they're CE2 rated.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything about. Well, they're definitely not CE2. Especially, they might be, I guess. But if you're CE2, you want to include some.
I'm really
I
enjoying the
mean, if it's
comment
me,
section, I'm not gonna lie.
Some safety information.
Yeah, like include the actual test that I went through because there's a specific test. Include the scores that you got for puncture resistance, height, transverse rigidity, abrasion, water resistance, which is the optional one. But why wouldn't you? Like, it's going on all my tags.
Yeah. Selling point.
So actually, I'm glad you brought up the whole like transverse rigidity or whatever you want to call it, because that was one thing that when I was reviewing the cross fields, I didn't know how to put it into words, but that is like the perfect word for it. It's like, it's not a, it's a stiff boot, but it's also a really comfortable boot because it flexes in just the correct directions, but not the ones you don't want it to. So the ones you don't want it to is more that side to side, that lateral transverse, if you will, sort of like stiffness that I think is like really, really key for a motorcycle boot. So that was one thing that I really, really like about your boot.
Yeah, and that's hard to get a CE2 on because you need to put it through the entire midsole. And there, I forget who puts like a, they call it like a Z midsole. I don't know. I stopped keeping up with other brands like a while ago, like a Z shank, and it wouldn't pass because essentially your heel is exposed. But for me, like it's to get a 2 in transverse rigidity. It basically means that it's the highest qualification if something lands on the side, which is, yeah. And fuck, these are way more expensive than mine.
Do your boots run big or small? Like I'm an 11 in most boots, but I'm like a 10.5 in skate shoe.
Same size, dog.
Okay.
American sizing, you're gonna be that size.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I don't know, Mike. What do you think?
Pro with coffee.
I still go about a half size bigger. Now the newer ones are closer to size, but they're very close now. So I'm down to. I used to have to get when I first started getting them. Oh my god, have I been doing this for 2 years? Jesus. So 2 years ago, the shoe I bought was a full size bigger. Now the boots I get are just like a half size bigger, and it gives me some comfort room. So yeah, they probably fit more true to size.
Anytime I get this question, and I get it a lot, because people are curious. Well, I run this in a Tacova, or I run this, and it's like there is zero consistency in the entire, not just the boot industry, but the entire shoe industry. Like there's no consistency. So I say, I tell people when they call, first of all, I love crickets. They're the best animal.
I'm sorry that crickets are bad tonight. I don't know, man. Go away, crickets! Damn it!
The crickets are having a great night. They're comforting.
If you walk into a shoe store and you see a shoe, what's the first size you ask for? That's what I say. And then if you say, all right, well, I asked for an 11, then order the 11. Now keep in mind, they're leather. They're going to break in. They have a lot of protection, which is going to start to mold. But sizing wise, and Mike is absolutely 100% correct, is that it was a little, sometimes I had to add caveats, go up a size, or something like that. Now once they're broken in, they're very much true to size, if not even a little wide. Like when they're broken in, like they're probably a double E.
So that's where I'm coming from. Is like I 14. I'm on one of those big ass feet. There's my free feet. I had started wearing Indie Ridge this year, and I've worn 14 for I don't know how long, but it's tough to find that size. It's not a very common size for most brands, but this was like a most like true to the true 14. I'm like, I just wore it and it worked and it fit immediately. And I didn't have any like, well, it could be a little bit more loose or here, like none of that. It just fit perfect. So that's my 2 cents. And I know that's not everybody's 2 cents, but I just feel like I've been wearing 14 a long time. I picked 14 and 14 was 14 here with Indie Ridge.
I ordered the 11s, so I'll know soon enough.
And how they fit.
I don't know. I just ordered them right now.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've got one of those big American feet too.
And the plus of that too, if you're talking to somebody that wears tennis shoes all the time, they're usually your tennis shoe size will be smaller, because tennis shoes are people get used to wearing tennis shoes that are too small. You can't do that with boots. If you're a working man and you wear boots every day, you can't just say, well, I'll just make this 10.5 fit. It doesn't work that way. You've got to get a real size that's going to fit you when you put them on and fit you later.
Gotta have room for those.
As soon as I saw that the sole came in coffee, I was sold. I was like, oh man, that's the one.
I do want a coffee set of those crows, but that'll.
Oh yeah.
I gotta break these other ones first, so we'll wait. And they're not breaking. The crows I got 2 years ago, still one of my favorite pairs of boots to wear. I still wear them, and they get more and more comfortable as I wear them.
Yeah, I just gave the crows that I got last month to a buddy who just started riding. I was like, you know what? Here, I trust him. Go for it. Luckily, we wore the same size. So.
Dude, did you get your sticker?
Oh.
Oh,
I got
that's
home,
all right.
Watched.
It's at the one in Hopkinsville. I don't know how far that is, but
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys send me the address. Because there's a bunch of
I took a picture of the receipt. I'll send it to you. Just ask the barista for the sticker that the weird guy gave her.
Before we get too far, I'm gonna go ahead and go through this the brake bleeding thing I have. The reason I like this one, you can see this. So this is a vacuum bleeder. It has a receiver where you can actually see the fluid come in. You have 2 different size hoses, and you got some adapters that actually go over your blade screws. Put that over the blade screw, you loosen it off. And the reason I like these, you can do a brake leak check. You leave your cover on your receiver, and you actually pump it up and see if it holds pressure. You actually do a brake check, a bleed check, and you take your cover off, you can actually pull all the air bubbles out of your system. So, and that's why I like this. It was not expensive.
How much? How much and how where? How where?
$35 on Amazon. $35 on Amazon. 35.
Oh, 35. I'm sorry. I didn't. Took me a second there.
Bri, I haven't got the chance to say hi yet. How you been, buddy? I always pick the worst time.
Your timing is great.
Oh, nom. I'm great. What do you mean?
Oh, man. So where did you make it to, Rowdy?
I can talk again.
Okay. Bri, how you been, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long week, but I'm happy that it's over.
Yeah, there's that.
100. Oh shit, Paul's in the chat.
Wait, Paul? Oh yeah, Paul.
Wait, you say Trucker Paul is in the chat?
Paul
No,
Mo.
not Paul. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have multiple Pauls now. Oh, my bad.
I was just I talked to Trucker Paul earlier tonight, and he said he was not going to be able to join that. So I was like, if he's in the chat, I'm going to drag his ass in here. But other Paul, we also like other Paul too.
I haven't talked to Trucker Paul in a little bit, maybe a week or two. I should text that guy and send him a picture of my dog.
All right, I'm gonna dip. I got to get to where I'm going, and my 5-hour energy's starting to wear off. So,
All right, be safe. Let us
you
know. When you
guys
get
have a
there.
righteous night, and I will
Keep
try to
on.
be safe.
Yeah.
Keep on
Say
keeping
no.
on, Rowdy.
Rowdy, let us know when you get there.
Keep on
Yeah,
trucking.
keep checking in, bud.
Later, man.
Bye, guys.
I'm gonna go back to the garage and wipe the brake dust off my hands. I'll be back.
Okay.
Why does the house smell like brake cleaner?
So your Memorial Day, they'll say, Jesus Christ, words. Your Memorial Day sale went off pretty well, didn't it, Steve?
No, it went horribly. I mean, it went great, but it also went horribly. I like the list went. I have a massive list, and for some reason, it only delivered to like 20% of my list, and then like the day after the sale was over, like a bunch of people got it delivered and the code was reactivated. It was a good thing because it fucking stress tested us and our ability to fulfill like hundreds and hundreds of orders within like a 2-day period. But it was, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise, but
I will say I'm one of those people that did not get the first one, if not 2 emails about the Memorial Day sale, but I got the third where you're like, hey, I think Google fucked me over and you didn't get the last 2. So I did get whatever the last one was. So yes, I am proof positive that Google was screwing you over on that. So
that's
hopefully you
all
can
right.
square that away.
If it had gone out to everyone and it had the same response, I would have been sold out of shit for a long time.
Yeah, I think I got
That
all
sounds like a
3
good
emails.
problem to have, though, isn't it?
It is, but like, it's like if it sucks when it's like there's demand there and you can't fulfill it. I mean, I pulled everything from Amazon, by the way, except for masks. I pulled gloves, boots, because I want to basically keep everything on the site because it's so hard. It's so much easier to track inventory and sales velocity and that kind of shit.
Did you do that, Steve?
I did. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you saw that. No problem, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was good, and now we just did a count of everything, and I got to do sales projections for the next. Hopefully, we'll be all right for Christmas and stuff, but went well. Went well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my order to ship now. I'm excited for mine.
Canceled it.
I see you doing that too, Mike.
You're done. Cut him
I'm
off.
not.
All right, Aaron.
Enough fun for
welcome.
you.
Welcome, Aaron. Thanks for joining.
I mean, I
welcome to
heard someone
the
call,
the backwards hat portion of the night. So Randy and I are covering that right now, but
all the hats in other rooms. But yeah, I heard someone say Jesus Christ earlier, and I heard my name called, so I figured I'd join.
Jesus righteous.
Bleak, you got to wear it backwards. That's the trick, dog. That's
Well,
what
to
Mike
see
and I
on
are
my
doing.
screen, I've got some cool symmetry going on with hat. It looks good this way.
All right, you do you.
Aaron, I thought your video was going to end with you being on an absolutely totally different bike and finding out that you bought it.
I was so hoping that was going to be the case.
So
I was so hoping that was going to be the case.
So
I
ironically,
figured that would be the case once you rode the Pan Am. I'm like, this guy is gonna buy a Pan Am now because I don't have to ride that bike to know exactly what. Like I rid the 1290 Adventure, as you are well aware. Like I know that what that style of bike is, like the quality that you'll get there. That's an amazing bike. You should probably get that bike. Just
so my
man
only
speaking to another
concern-
man, like that's a great bike.
My only concern immediately with the Pan America is how to outfit it for touring, because I do like having a lot of different positions I can put my legs in.
What do you mean? That bike is ready.
That's what she
That
said.
bike is ready and done.
But-
You just get, it's got saddlebags. If you get a top box for it, you're done. That's it.
Also,
It's so
Outfit it with hard bags.
before I test rode the Pan America and the Sportster S, Devin and I were just looking at the dealership moved like half, if not all, of their inventory from inside to outside in a like throw up tent area. They had a used gray ST next to a brand new black ST with an El Diablo and a fast Johnny ST right beside them as well, lowrider ST. They had them all lined up together perfectly. And I stood there drooling over all of them for a little bit. And eventually a guy came over and started talking to us. And I didn't realize he was an employee. And he's like, so you looking to get one? Like, yeah, I'm just shooting the shit. And he's like, well, whatever you wrote here, we can trade it in and get it for you right now. We can go sign papers. And I just
Should've
looked
done
at
it.
him.
I would have took
Look
the
at
used ST.
Well,
Look at what number?
Yes.
What
Take
number
the
was
used
that
ST.
Diablo?
Actually, honestly, that is probably the best bet. Have Rainey paint it white for you, so you can have your white sand pearl or whatever the hell you want.
Don't buy the Diablo.
Yeah, don't.
I told you I'd give you.
I wouldn't get the El Diablo, one, because it's overpriced, and two, even though the paint job is beautiful, I don't want a red bike. I don't really care for red like that. I like it as an accent, not as the focus.
Was it a high number or a low number?
I didn't check the number because I had zero interest in it. But it's just the fact they had them all lined up perfectly together. But the dude ended up saying, well, whatever you wrote in here on, we're doing trade-ins at a stupid high rate, so we could probably give you more than it's worth. And then he asked me what I wrote in on.
I'll be indisposed.
Yeah, you told me this, and if they would give you the number that we discussed offline for your Rebel, I am struggling to find where you wouldn't have made that deal.
He asked me, he said, so what would you like to get for your Rebel? Like, if you could do 4,800, I'd consider it. And he said, all right, let's go sign papers right now. I'm like,
You should have done it, man.
if there would have been a white ST, I would have done it.
No, even the gray one, man. I'm telling
No.
you, like,
Gray's
Nope,
the new
I'm
you
white.
could
set on the
paint
white.
it. Paint
No.
ain't that
Like-
hard.
I told you I'd give you a KVO paint
It's
job
right.
on it.
I'm good, painting.
No,
Nah,
KVO
I
stands
just-
for kidney
Get
velocity
my rattle
output.
can out.
I'm gonna do a really good paint job and then piss on it, because that's what Harley does. Harley's the only brand that considers their paint jobs an upgrade. Charges
Yeah,
you for
right.
it. Stage
I don't-
2 paint job.
I don't get that.
That's pretty cool.
But, which reminds
Stage
me,
And
two.
metal
Kidney
flake
failure
adds
paint
5
job.
horsepower.
It's that aerodynamic flake.
Yeah, 6,600. It was what 6,600 hour bump up for the clean whiskey or whiskey clean. That's stupid money.
Did you see, and I can't remember who did it, but the hammered, and they did a spray paint job, the hammered paint that has the dimples in it actually increases your aerodynamic output and actually increases your gas mileage.
Does it? The
It was on
Like a golf ball.
Yes. Like a golf ball. The dimples actually
Motorized
increases
golf
your
ball.
aerodynamic.
The more you know.
Well, I haven't gotten to see if it's hype yet or not, but there's a new piston that's supposed to be hitting the market with a recessed head and a bunch of dimples in it. That's supposed
For
to
which
be,
motor?
I want to say it was something Dodge was working on, but it was in conjunction with an aftermarket company for race motors. I'll find the link. I'll put it in the Discord. It's a cool looking piston.
I think
So it's
Mythbusters
recessed.
did a golf ball
Like,
holding on a car and actually did an aerodynamic test on it. And it was more aerodynamic with the golf ball dimples in it than it was just smooth.
I'd love to have Jay Leno's garage, but motorcycles.
I
Sorry,
couldn't pay
I'm keeping up with
taxes
chat.
on Jay Leno's garage.
Dude, if I had Jay Leno money, I would open a community garage. Like, that's what I think as a community, we all agree, like, that's what we would do. But, like, that guy has more money than fucking anybody. And he's got all the bikes and cars that he wants. But, like, fucking do something cool like that. Because I think that's where our minds are at. It's like, if you have so much like that, you have enough to offer, like, just, yeah, if somebody's rolling through town, they need to, like, stop and work on their bike. Fuck, open up your shop, your warehouse to them.
I would have
I mean,
every
come
one of
on.
my friends I know. I would fly my friends from out of town and we'd ride every bike I had in my garage.
Seriously.
Gone every weekend. Pay for the gas, ride anything you want.
But
He has no luck though, dude. He's caught himself on fire twice in a month. I mean, can't have worse luck than that.
hold on, who's done that?
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno wasn't even out of the hospital. I think it was 2 days. Got on a motorcycle and then burned himself up in a fire. Oh, was it? He got in a car the second time. Burned himself up in a car fire. No luck, man. I think they just had a thing on the other day. He got a new, I want to say chin, not a chin. He's he's having plastic surgery again. It was his first pictures after he had his plastic surgery to repair his face. Jeez, love the guy, but man, no luck.
Dude, what are you fixing? like, I don't know. There should be an age limit on that shit.
Apparently, it's pretty bad though.
What was that?
Apparently, it was pretty bad though. Like it was actually like legit. He got
Oh, no shit.
His ear. That's
Okay.
what it was. He got an ear replacement. It was bad. That burn was very, very bad.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know. Didn't know.
What was it the first time? Did he hit a cable the first time or something? I can't remember what it was. I'll look it up now.
Who's that?
Hey, Leno.
what the fuck?
It's the new high performance diesel pistons. It like quadruples the performance from the piston. It's crazy technology. And then the stuff I've been learning about what they're trying to do with 3D printers and AI and making liquid cooling so much more efficient by creating so much more surface area through printed products, the inside structures that only the computer can do, is truly game changing. It's a pretty cool world we're moving into. They already got one product out. It's for helicopters. It's a heat exchanger that's 3 times as small as the current gen heat exchangers, and it's a printed metal product with more surface area inside it than something 3 times its size.
Damn.
Yeah. If it involves racing, I'm probably listening. Anything you can go fast and do something dumb in, I'm there. I'm with you.
I can agree on that. I think it's a good time to wrap up this episode. So we're going to do final thoughts. Start with Bleep.
I hope everybody's being safe out there. I hope you're all watching everybody's content, because this is the community right here. We support each other. We support Two Wheels. And that's all I ever think about.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Bri?
It's Mental Health Month. Let's fix that. Let's break this stigma. I wasn't prepared for that, but that's where I was going with it.
Hey, that works. You got a great point. It's one of the more overlooked items for the month.
We got too many people swallowing guns in this country. It's time to fix it.
That's a sad fact. Nar?
I guess, like we always say, be kind to one another, love each other. We're all family. We're all people. Also, I got stickers made, so meet me in person if you want one.
Yeah. Link in bio.
Yep.
Buy his motorcycle.
Yes, buy my moped so I can get a real bike like a Moto Guzzi V100.
Woo!
Or a Lowrider ST that I can bum the VIN number off of.
Or a Pan America. So I can power wheelie.
Hey.
Anyways, enough from me. Rainey?
Final thoughts. I think that BMW 310 probably puts out more horsepower than that Robo 500. So, final thoughts. Be kind, even though I'm not to Aaron. But the meaning of life is to be nice to each other and help each other out, and it always returns back to you. And help support your local businessmen.
Steve?
Yeah, I would agree. It's been pretty evident to me over the last 6 months, but to a year, that the more you give out and the more generous you are to other people, the more you're going to get it back. And that's just ultra important. That's my 2 cents.
All right. Juice?
Yeah, man. I don't know how to follow that up, but just want to thank everybody for joining tonight and being a part of our Weirdos Assembled crew. I thank Steve and Bri for joining tonight, because we always like to have our new guests on, returning guests. I think that's really important for the channel, and so we really appreciate you guys joining and being a part of what we do. I don't know, man. Keep on keeping on is all I can say tonight.
Yeah, I think chat has dubbed us the Moto World Brady Bunch, but I'll have to go back and double check that.
I might call this Hollywood Squares. Hollywood Squares, the motorcycle edition.
Yeah, Hollywood Squares
So
motorcycle edition. And
I think I'm at the bottom. I can point up to two different people from my spot. Yeah.
3 ways.
So yeah, thanks y'all for joining tonight. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Steve, Bri, thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having us. Sorry I'm so quiet. I'm just kind of burnt from the week.
No, you're good, man. It's been a long week.
Didn't have before Sunday.
I'm yeah.
Bring beer.
Here. Okay.
So somebody I was going to interview early in the week said I saw them Friday and they were out tubing, and I said, oh, you should have called. You know, we could have done the interview Friday night. And they're like, oh, we were going to be way too drunk. And I'm like, no. That's when I want to do an interview. If you come drunk, come on. It'll be so much better.
But my final thoughts, again, Steve, Bri, thanks for coming on. Little brother, Bleak, Dad, Juice. Technically the taller brother, but I'm the older brother.
I am the bigger brother, whether or not it's my age.
He's the big little brother.
6'5", 3 bills, baby.
But just echoing, be good to one another, love each other. We're all sharing this fucking rock. There's no need to be assholes to each other. Go check out Indie Ridge and Bri. Check out Bleak's Motorcycles and Murder Mysteries, Rainy Nights and the Rainy Store, Nars' little brother goofiness, Juice's updates on his channel with the Grom and Road King. My dumpster fire of a video earlier today. I check out the Rainy Shop and the Goon Shop because all of our stuff goes back into the channels and into the Boo Boo unit and the Rainy's case.
How much is it? Just a side question. How much does it cost you to get a T-shirt made?
Too much. They charge anywhere from $22 to $30 for the T-shirts, and we get $3 a piece for the shirts.
$3 to $5, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it ain't much.
I'm confused. Like, so you guys order them like on demand?
Yeah, so they go to the site and order it, and it gets printed on demand.
Yeah, it's not like drop shipping shit.
Yeah, I found someone that would print them, and they wanted minimum order 50 at $8 a piece.
Right,
I'm like, I am not ready to jump into that yet.
We'll time this
We'll go
conversation
offline.
real quick. And all right, guys, thank you for joining. We will see you next week. We got to ride.
Peace out.
Later, y'all.
Everybody.